let's talk a little bit about Game of the Year. I know we're not even in November yet, but I feel like this year's holiday isn't really that special, at least not to me. Not too many games are really piquing my interest. But yeah, for me, hands down, Game of the Year 2018 so far is God of War. For sure, no doubt about it. Easily the best game I've played this year, and probably the highest quality game we're going to see this year, in my opinion. It really was something special to see God of War taken back and completely changed and revolutionized to this amazing combat system. And, it's really something special, even if it's kind of familiar in a lot of ways, taking a lot from other games, whether from Naughty Dog or the Square Enix Tomb Raider team. It's a good mix, I think, and it really is one of the best created games this year for sure. Some other games that might be up there for me would be Spider-Man on PS4 as well. Not to that God of War level tier. It really, they did a really fantastic job with the game. And we all assumed they would. It's Insomniac, right? Spider-Man would be up there. Octopath is another one that would be up there. I still haven't beat the game though, but I absolutely adore it. Another game that would be up there that I hope wouldn't be missed. I think with how indies are and with how the industry is and how we're gradually, slowly moving forward to more appreciation for indies, I feel like Celeste might get some nods, especially at the VGAs. It definitely deserves it too. It really was a fantastic platforming game. One for me as well would be The Gardens Between. Definitely not going to be on most people's lists. It just isn't as well known. But if you guys like puzzle games, I highly suggest you guys try it out. I fell in love with the game. Dandera is one other one that I want to kind of mention as well. Another fantastic indie game. Very tough Metroidvania with a mix of Dark Souls in there. And if that sounds good to you guys, trust me, it's really good. I'm also really enjoying Starlink right now. I don't know if that would be on most people's Game of the Year list. I feel like just the whole concept around Toys to Life doesn't really lend well to that kind of conversation. But yeah, no, those are kind of my games of the year right now. I have a ton of other games I absolutely loved. I just don't think, even just for me, like the scope of some of these games aren't as large. So to put them as Game of the Year over top of a game like Spider-Man or God of War, Octopath, and stuff like that, it's a little tough to kind of do that. Like, and I understand, it could be Tetris and that could be someone's Game of the Year, but just for me, there's a little bit of a mix there. It either has to be the highest quality, best game like ever, like something like a Celeste, where it's like just perfect platforming, perfect difficult platforming, or it has to have a little bit larger scope. And obviously, the larger scope a game has, the more errors it will have, the more faults it will have. So, it's a weird balance, but. Overall, though, 2018, this year has been slow in major releases, at least for me. Apart from those few that I was mentioning there, the year has been basically me catching up on PS4 games that were released in previous years, like Horizon or Bioshock Collection or Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I love that game. In the indie wave of awesomeness. Obviously, you guys have seen my channel. I have a ton of indie game reviews. I play a lot of them all the time. I love getting to experience new games at a high rate like this. I do feel like I might be getting a little bit burnt out of it soon. I have a huge backlog. I have a lot of games that I've been wanting to play this year that I should be playing, like Yoku's Island Express, Hollow Knight. A ton of these games that I have, I just haven't had the chance to play yet. Oxenfree, Night in the Woods, a ton of games. Dishonored 2, blah blah blah. But yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts about this year. It's just like this has been a slow year, especially for Nintendo wise. I have another video that I'm going to be talking about that, but just Nintendo 2018 has been terrible, especially when you compare it to 2017, which has been probably one of the best years I've ever had in gaming, I think, at least for Nintendo. For the VGAs, let's talk about that very quickly here. So Jeff Keighley, the Game Awards, you know that they're going to be trying to, make it even better this year. He's trying to make it like an Oscars kind of thing, but, with an edge, I guess, obviously. I just don't think they're ever going to get it, just with how the industry is and how much they will just ignore games. It's not like the Oscars where they're literally looking for some of like the best made movies that might not be well known by a lot of people, but are like legitimately like the best experiences out there, or like, whether, made by a small indie team of one person or, a team of 400 people or whatever. I just don't think they'll ever get to that level. Like, the game industry's been like this. It's been kind of toxic and super biased against certain things for so long. I just don't see it doing a full 180 and getting that corrected. But yeah, like, for example, there's no way in hell they will bring up Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It is not going to happen. Maybe they might have it as a, as a honorable mention kind of a thing in one of these categories, but they will never talk about it. They'll never have music playing for it. It's just not going to happen. It's a JRPG that isn't on a Sony system, so default already, they're not going to talk about it. It sucks that it was out of the running last year because of the whole timing and everything, but I don't know. There's not going to talk about it. It's how it is, and it's really fucking annoying to me. But whatever. Also, games like Pokemon and Smash. Even if Smash was within the deadline, if it was out, I think it has to be out in November for it to be accounted for the Game of the Year awards or whatever. No way it would be in Game of the Year category. Maybe it could possibly be mentioned, but no way would it even have a chance of winning. Not even just because it's a semi new release, I guess you could say, with a mix of, a lot of new little elements, but kind of heavily based off of the Wii U version, I'd say. Even if it wasn't, I don't think Smash and Pokemon, for example, are just kind of in their own stratospheres of popularity and, and fanism and stuff like that. I just don't see those games ever getting a mention for something like that. But yeah, for Pokemon, even if they did have like the biggest, best open world game we always dreamed of, I highly doubt they would even consider that game to be in the Video Game Awards as one of the best games of the year. Like, there's no way in hell that was ever going to happen. It just, again, it's in its own level of pop culture and fame. It just would not, it would just not make it. It's just in a whole different kind of level from Game of the Year. It's just separate from all the people that would be voting on it that would like, that they're going to vote Red Dead Redemption 2. And even if it isn't a great game, they're going to put that on there because they know Naughty Dog or not Naughty Dog, because they know Rockstar and stuff like that. I don't know. The bias is it's still very clear. So don't let last year change your minds with all the Zelda winnings and Mario Odyssey and stuff. Don't let that change you. Trust me, that is just a glimmer of kind of positivity in the ocean of kind of bias against these type of games, Japanese developers, Nintendo in general. It's still very much prevalent. It was just kind of riding that big Switch wave that we had and still kind of have, but it's been dying down recently. So hopefully 2019 picks up. But yeah, that's kind of my general talk about the Game of the Year. Again, not much for like Nintendo stuff that I can think of that they'd actually really have this year. Octopath will probably have a few nominations, which it better fucking have. Other than that, I think Smash is out of the running. Pokemon might be for like some casual Game of the Year or something, and they won't bring up Xenoblade. Mario Tennis Aces ain't gonna do anything. Not much else really. Mario Party, none of that's really gonna catch anyone's attention. I don't think so. But yeah, what will Nintendo show at this year? As you guys know, last year they showed us Bayonetta 3, which is a really cool announcement. They also showed the collection, Bayonetta 1 and 2. So yeah, that's really cool. But what do you think we're gonna see? More Bayonetta 3 footage, maybe some Star Fox, Metroid Prime 4. My money is definitely on a Metroid reveal. That would make so much sense, but I think it will just be a trailer, and I think that's all they need. Get everyone hyped, do an amazing CG trailer, take a couple strings from Sony and Xbox, just do a CG trailer. You don't have to do anything else, but put money into it, make it look epic, make it look amazing, get everyone their hype levels up to 9,000, and then put that trailer out there and say, with a fade in at the end, 2019. People will lose their shit, and boom, Nintendo, you win E3. And it's not even an E3, it's fucking VGAs, you know what I mean? Just do that, everyone will lose their minds. That's what we want to see. And I have another video that's going to be coming up very soon that I'm going to be talking about Nintendo needs more ambition in their games. And I think this is definitely one of the contenders here. So they need to show a trailer that shows that there's some serious shit going down in Metroid, and that this is going to be a game you can't miss. We need another killer app like a Breath of the Wild, like a Splatoon 2, like a Super Mario Odyssey. And Metroid Prime 4 could be it if they really put in the effort and make it something special. But there it is, guys. That's my thoughts about the game of the year for 2018. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I will see you all next time.